so good to see you. Let's jump into the headlines. The new tax bill 1000 is including a $1,000 baby bonus in Trump accounts. We're going to break down who is eligible. So President Trump's big beautiful tax bill includes a new savings account for children that comes with a $1,000 deposit from the federal government. So who is eligible and how will they receive this money?
Yeah, so we're just starting to get some clarification on these new Trump accounts. So if you are a baby that was born January 1st, 2025, from there until December 31st of 2028, you're eligible for that seed money. So you just have to be under age 18, born between those dates, and have a valid U.S. Social Security number. Now that account, Aaron, can be opened up either online come July 2026, or by sending in a tax form with your tax return for this year. It'll automatically happen. So it'll be very simple as far as setting it up, but come July, we'll be able to access those accounts.
Mm-hmm. And who can contribute to these accounts?
It's a broad range, right? So it's going to be parents, legal guardians, grandparents, friends can even, but also we've received some clarification that employers can contribute to those accounts on behalf of their employees.
And what are the contribution limits?
So the contribution limits annually is $5,000. So with that said, that $1,000 seed money, if the baby is eligible, that does not count towards the contribution limit. And in addition to that, the $2,500 employer contribution, that is per employee. So that's not per child, just to be clear, but it's $2,500 up to that amount can be put into the Trump account, and that does go towards the annual contribution limit of $5,000.
Interesting. And how will this money be invested?
Well, to no surprise, it will be in U.S. companies, essentially. So think about low-cost index funds. We've heard that they're going to have an expense ratio or cost to invest. The underlying fund cost is 10 basis points or less, but it's going to be index funds that track U.S. companies only. So the idea being that, we're focused on with the America first kind of thought process, investing in U.S. companies only.
Okay, so let's break down some of the math here. Earnings in Trump accounts grow tax deferred and qualified withdrawals are taxed at the long-term capital gains rate. So how do these accounts stack up against other tax advantage savings plans?
So these Trump accounts are kind of similar to traditional IRAs, but that nuance that you just mentioned with the traditional IRA, anytime that you make a qualified distribution, for the most part, it's going to be ordinary income rates. Now, with the Trump accounts, if you have a qualified distribution, that will be at long-term capital gains rate, which is a much more favorable tax treatment. So some of those qualified distributions could be used for education. It could be used for adoption. It could be used for a first-time home buyer, right? So there's a little bit of flexibility there. But Aaron, I don't think it's the all and be all, like the only thing that we should be looking at as far as savings vehicles.
Right. So you mentioned education, which I think begs another question. When does it make sense to contribute to these accounts versus contributing to a 529, which is specifically meant for education, or a regular custodial account?
Yes. So given the limitations of the contribution limits, I think it makes sense to use this Trump account in conjunction with the other options like a 529 or like a custodial account, right? Because the 529 is really focused on education use. And that has a much higher contribution limit, a lot more flexibility there. And then you've got the other accounts, like the custodial accounts, which could be more of your gifting kind of strategy. Now, those have different tax nuance to it, with the kiddie tax and so forth. But the neat thing, I think, Aaron, about the Trump account is that these contributions aren't subject to earned income or anything like that, right? So anybody can make a contribution for the child on their behalf.
Yeah, it's interesting. I appreciate, getting the chance to talk this through with you, Wes, considering, there are some details that are still a little bit muddy. So we will, of course, circle back and update everybody. But if somebody would like to sit down with you, talk about, how these work or setting their children up for financial success, what's the best way to reach you?
They can reach us by email, info@patriotwealthnc.com, or pick up the phone, 919-322-4113.
Great. Wes, thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.